So yesterday I did a video just for the fun of it where I kind of talked about what would it be like if Kong was on Amphibia. And since I'm not making this a thing because it would literally be hard to pick every monster to go to every world, I decided to do one more because you can't do a Kong video these days without doing a Godzilla video. So this time around, I'm going to be talking about what would it be like if Godzilla was on Remnant. Like, could Godzilla survive on Remnant? Actually, I take that back. This should be called Could Remnant Survive Godzilla Living in It? So, let's just say that, like, Godzilla, for whatever reason, has ended up on the world of Remnant from Ruby and is now existing there. Like, what would it be like if could Godzilla live there? Absolutely. Could anyone survive him living there? That's the big question. So, let's talk about, like, the terrain itself. The world of Remnant is this very vast and very open world, very much like our own, and every world, like from Vacuo to Mantle to every part of Remnant, is a different terrain. And Godzilla's had his own share of terrain. Hell, he's been to outer space at once. So Godzilla knows his way around different terrain, and of course he can cross oceans in just a matter of days, without expelling much of his energy. And this is the big part. So terrain wouldn't be that much of a problem for the big G. The big question is, could Godzilla... what would the world of Remnant think of him now that he's there? Well, Godzilla doesn't give a shit about us. You think he's going to care about whatever's on Remnant? From the faunus to anything? It's literally like, well, I'm here. You're all my bitches now. That would literally be Godzilla's whole, like, thing ending up on Remnant. It would just be like, I'm here. You're all my bitches now. To which everyone would go, okay. So, because when you have a monster that can bore a hole towards the center of the earth in a matter of just minutes, it's time. Don't pick a fight with that monster. But I can assure you, everyone will be trying to pick a fight with that monster. And not just Grimm. Like, the Grimm would just be like ants under his shoe. Like, there are a few good-sized Grimm that could be a challenge for Godzilla. Like, I could definitely see, like, some of the larger Grimm putting up some fight against him, but in the end, they'd just be vaporized or just torn apart by Godzilla. But, yeah, like, the smaller ones would be no problem. Hunters and huntresses... yeah, huntsmen and huntresses, yeah, they would need some kind of special weapons to take him down, if any. So the only real two threats that could be any real challenge in terms of factions that could be a challenge to Godzilla in the world of Remnant would either be A, Salem, or Atlas. That's really the only two I could see being any real challenge to Godzilla's reign in Remnant. So that's the big thing. There was everyone else, like from Ozpin to the huntsmen and huntresses. And even some Grimm. There's literally no one that could challenge him outside of just two other real opponents that could be any real threat to his reign as king. And let's start with Salem first. So Salem, as we all know, the immortal Queen in Black herself, ruler of the Grimm, and would probably create some really horrendous shit to fight Godzilla, because Godzilla would just be a thorn in her side because he's just wandering in, destroying her plans. Now, I could see it that Salem would want to use Godzilla to, like, aim him like a weapon at certain places just to destroy them. But really, I think it would be more like, trying to control Godzilla or trying to aim him are two different things. So I think she'd want, if she can't do neither, then she would definitely try to basically have Godzilla have to fight and kill him. So that's the big thing she would have to do. And creating some massive Grimm that could possibly put any fight against him. Like, just constantly expending a lot of energy to create these giant Grimm after Grimm after Grimm to fight Godzilla again and again would be taxing on her. And I'm pretty sure if she got vaporized by just the atomic breath, it'd be a hell of a while before she could come back. Like, just being zapped, just blasted by his atomic breath. And yeah, would not be a fun time for him. A fun time for Salem, excuse me. So Salem would be a problem, but the other major problem would be Atlas. Atlas would probably be the only other real challenge for Godzilla in Remnant. Why? Because these guys know how to make a weapon. These guys would be very much like G-Force, but a very more, I would say, hands-on G-Force. Like, this would be a type of group that would, instead of like G-Force, who usually just deters Godzilla from coming to Japan, Atlas would be actively hunting him. Like, Atlas would be constantly sending out weapons, squads, anything they have to relentlessly pursue Godzilla. Like, that would be the big difference, is that while G-Force is just more interested in protecting Japan and just warding him off or finding a way to divert him, do you really think Ironwood would let something that big and that powerful just roam Remnant freely without any kind of control? I guarantee you Ironwood would want to try to control Godzilla at first and maybe try to find a way to like use mind control or just aim him at Salem. But the other half would be, if I can't do that, if I can't control something, I end it. So Ironwood would definitely be like trying to find new ways to... He'd be constantly trying to find new ways to kill Godzilla and actively pursue him constantly. Like, he would be diverting resources and forces after Godzilla again and again and again. Like, he would just constantly pursue him. And remember that giant mech from season 7? Yeah, from season 6 or 7, I can't remember. I don't fucking care. But yeah, that giant mech that Cordova had. Yeah. I guarantee you that if Godzilla was in Remnant, Ironwood would be making like 30 of those bitches. Like, he would be expending money after throwing money at it. Hell, I would not be shocked if we saw a Atlas version of Mechagodzilla. Like, I guarantee you Ironwood would be trying to making his own version of Mechagodzilla, like a dust-powered Mechagodzilla. Which, now that I've said that, I am pretty sure I've just given the idea for Jason to make a Atlas-created Mechagodzilla for the Infinityverse. I've inadvertently done that. I'm not sorry about that. Anyway, so yeah, Ironwood would be, whereas Salem would be like, I'll create, I'll have like Grimm attack Godzilla, but it would be Ironwood and Atlas constantly trying to use like different kinds of dust-based weapons or machines or just new weapons in general to constantly go after Godzilla just again and again and again. And yeah, I'm also sure that Ozpin would want to use Godzilla to like try to kill Salem. Like he could believe like just bringing, like hell, that could be one of the ways for Godzilla to get here is Ozpin drags Godzilla into Remnant to use like, hey, go kill Salem. It's like yeah, go kill Salem or something like that. Anyway, so that's just how that's just kind of how I see it. It's not so much could Godzilla live on Remnant, it's more like could Remnant survive Godzilla. So you guys tell me in the comments below, what do you guys think of this? Do you think Godzilla could survive on Remnant, or the other way around, could Remnant survive Godzilla? Who could you see being any real threats to him in terms of like Grimm? Do you think Atlas would be a problem for him? Do you think Salem would be a problem for him? Just all that good stuff. Just comment below, let me know, and once again, I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.